Ryan and Randy with you on SportsCenter, where we're continuing to follow breaking news this morning. JuJu Watkins is out for the rest of this season. ESPN's Shams Charania reporting the USC star tore her ACL just 5 minutes into the Trojans' win over Mississippi State to advance to the Sweet 16. Watkins, an All-American and National Player of the Year candidate as well. It is a seismic loss in the basketball world as a whole. Here's Andraya putting it into perspective.
It's absolutely devastating to see the injury to JuJu Watkins and to see her in pain. She is so talented, so skilled. She moves so effortlessly. But even when you think about off the court, how much she has done for the community and for LA, and how much she loves the game and how much she gives to the game and to her team, it's just devastating. JuJu is tough, and she will be okay. She will make it through, and we firmly believe that. Whatever is on the other side of this, our positive thoughts are going out to JuJu.
It has been a meteoric rise to begin her career, to be sure, scoring the second most points by any player in D1 history through 2 seasons, just 54 points shy of the record. And listen, SC, obviously, it stands to reason. You rely on your best player. The Trojans have played the grand total of 168 out of a possible 1,285 minutes without Watkins on the floor this season. All right, 2 seed in a suddenly wide open region out there in Spokane, the Spokane region, I should say. We're at Gamble Pavilion, final game there for Paige Bueckers. And Bueckers putting this up and one, puts UConn up by 2. Gino Auriemma said that, Paige missed a few shots early, and he told her during a timeout he didn't like the look on her face. He said, change it. And I think it worked. Paige, top of the key 3. She said she didn't look at it as her last game at Gamble, looked at it as a second round tournament game that we're trying to win and trying to keep advancing. If Paige keeps doing that, they're going to 21 points in the first half. That's the most points and a half in her NCAA tournament career. They're up 15 at the break, third quarter, catch and release. I'm not much of a fisherman, but I know a good angle when I see it. And then, listen, she scored or assisted on 40 points in the third quarter. That's more than South Dakota State had as a team. This is a 30-win South Dakota State team. No slouch at all. Bueckers went for 34, though, just too much. Ties her career high that she set back in 2021 against Arkansas. UConn, 91-57 on the strength of a career night for Paige Bueckers. And then you look at this region. They advance, UConn does, to take on Oklahoma in the Sweet 16 on Saturday. Huskies have reached their 31st straight Sweet 16. Think 31st. Wow, what?
I'm not even 31 years old.
That goes back to the previous century. The winner of that game will take on the winner of USC and Kansas State. Again, SC going the rest of the way without JuJu Watkins. Resonating throughout the basketball world, continuing with breaking news this morning, JuJu Watkins tore the ACL in her right knee in USC's win over Mississippi State last night. The AP All-American and National Player of the Year candidate injured just 5 minutes into this game. ESPN's Shams Charania reporting it is an ACL tear for, again, one of the biggest stars in women's basketball, leaving her head coach, Lindsey Gottlieb, to offer this perspective following her team's advancing to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't rattled, seeing JuJu on the floor and crying. I mean, this is a human game. To see this place rally behind her, I hope she can at some point see just the significance that she has here, that goes so far beyond just her talent and abilities.
And our Hall of Famer, Rebecca Lobo, is back with us now on SportsCenter. Rebecca, what was your initial reaction when you saw this injury to one of the best players in the game?
Well, just on a human level, I was heartbroken for JuJu Watkins and for her teammates and her coaches and all of the fans at USC. This is the time of year that all college basketball players work for. And JuJu and USC had a realistic chance to go to the Final Four, a realistic chance to win a national championship. And you see her go down. And players like myself who have torn their ACL, the second it happens. And when I saw her and her reaction, you just knew that she knew. And so terrible news confirming it overnight.
And you can put yourself in that position, having torn your ACL in your WNBA career. As for the collegiate task ahead for Lindsey Gottlieb and these Trojans, they get that win last night. They rally around their star. The challenge even more difficult moving forward. So what impact does this Watkins injury now have on the Trojans tournament run?
Hey, Randy, you need elite guard play in order to get to a Final Four, and you need elite guard play in order to win a national championship. And with JuJu Watkins, USC had that. Now they have young freshmen who are not seasoned in terms of the NCAA tournament. I do not think anymore that it's realistic for USC to expect to go to a Final Four, especially when you look at their potential path and a potential meeting with UConn in the regional final. JuJu is, so important to the success of this USC team in terms of how she scores the basketball, distributes the basketball. You see how few minutes they have played this season without her on the floor. She is probably the most important player to her team still alive in the NCAA tournament. So I feel for USC, and I really feel for their fans, and I feel for all of us in the women's college basketball community who are so looking forward to watching JuJu Watkins the rest of the way.
To your point about UConn, that is a step beyond this Kansas State matchup on Saturday, and all JuJu Watkins needs to look to if she's looking for inspiration to rebound and recover from an ACL injury is who she would have played perhaps on UConn and Paige Beckers. Rebecca Lobo, appreciate the insight all morning.